Hi everyone, Rainbow Brite here, Wisp here, and today, well, there still is no update on the bug or glitch that makes your Google Android Y speaker unable, unskilled, or cannot, you know, download likenesses or wall sheets from a website. And at first, you need be think that it's only one website that is blocking this. But then it shifts out to be every website that you go on is blocking it. And at first, you'll read on the interwebs, Google, Yahoo, Bing, whatever, is that, oh, well, somehow your settings were shifted. So you'll go into your settings for Google Files, Google Likenesses, whatever, Google Downloads, and you'll see that all your settings have been the way they've been. Then you'll read, oh, well, you have to undo these settings. You have to clean this out. You got to clean everything out of files and out of Google Files and Google Likenesses. Oh, somehow you don't have enough room anymore to download anything. Will be the belief. You got to undo this setting and take this out and set this back up again. And some folks will say, oh, well, now you got to set Google Android all up again. Whatever the ground sacred why is, I'm not going to do any of that. But I have seeked a workaround. If you have a likeness of something, you can make that likeness a wall sheet. But if you do not have a likeness to make a likeness out of, then there isn't anything you can do. And I know, sadly, there are going to be folks out there who right now are fucking around, or forgive my English, playing around with every setting, either in Google Chrome for downloads, Google Files, or Google Likenesses for downloading. There are going to be those who will clean everything out of Google Chrome and Google File and Google Likenesses and all that shit. And then there'll be folks out there who will who had to go over and set Google Android up again, thinking that, well, this will be the hill for it. Now, keep in mind, when I got this Y speaker back in 2023 YL, I was not home when all the setting up of Google Android was done. So I don't know all the things one has to do to get it set up. But it's not as smooth as, it's never smooth. We'll have it that way. It's not, oh, you just start over again and then you put in your shit. No, there's probably a lot more to it. And a lot more than, oh, just put in your Google login shit. Whatever. I'm not going to do any of that shit. And also you'll read on the interwebs is that, oh, your Google Android might not be the latest one out there. As if your offshoot of Google Android or whatever, or Google tool, isn't the latest one out there. Also, they'll tell you, oh, well, you need to go see if there are updates. And if, let's say you go in updates like I do, and all the updates I got go back to the 9th month for Google Android itself and the Google Play Shop. So, yeah, I got all the updates, at least the update they gave me since the 9th month. So, no, that's not the answer either. So there isn't anything you can do. And you can do all those things that I told you in this film. If you want to go for all that shit and do it, go right ahead. You're going to be blowing a lot of time doing it, though, because it need be not the answer. And which say you do. Which say we do go for all that shit. We fuck our shit up. And then it shifts out that it was a bug, that it was a glitch. And all that shit they always tell you was just there for shits and giggles. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, oh, well, some folks out there maybe say, well, maybe Google took that setting away due to ownership and double right. Well, if that's true, then every other business would have done the same thing too. Apple would have done the same thing for Apple iOS. Smallsoft would have done the same thing for Windows. Google would have done the same thing for Chrome OS. Apple would have done the same thing for Mac OS. And Jetco would have done the same thing for Linux. And that would be the same thing for Edge. Smallsoft would have done the same thing to Edge. Apple would have done the same thing for Safari. Mozilla would have done the same thing for Avalanche. Mozilla would have done the same thing for Firefox. Same thing for Opera. And, unso and unso. And same thing for Google Chrome. It wouldn't just be one business, stopping the downloading of anything that they thought was owned and double-ratted by someone else. And if it is a new thing, then it only seems to, yeah. But the truth is, I don't think anyone is going to watch this film. Or if they do, I don't think they're going to say, yeah, my Y speaker doing the same thing. And if they do, well, then at least I'll know I'm not alone. But most likely, if someone does watch this film, they're not going to say that their Y speaker, either with Google Android or Apple iOS, is not letting them download wall sheet or likenesses or whatever. Or if they do, then I'm not alone in that. But if they tell me all the same shit that I just read on the interwebs about doing shit, yeah, that's not going to work. All right, I'll see you all later. Have a rainbow day.